Hey guys, we're back here at Adventure Chiropractic for spring cleanup month. We're going to clean up your diet a little bit this week. We're talking about new greens that you can put in your diet, healthier way to get more vegetables incorporated in. Everybody understands they should eat more vegetables, especially those leafy greens, but some of us just don't like them that much. So we're going to give you a couple tips, a couple of recipes that you can do to actually get more greens in your diet. I'm going to leave some of the details in the descriptions below, but we know that over 90% of adults don't eat enough vegetables on a daily basis and get their daily allowance. We know that if we wanted to eliminate tens of thousands of cases of cancer in the United States alone every year, all we would have to do is get every man, woman, and child to eat one extra serving of vegetables per day. It sounds like a no-brainer, so let's find out how we can get more in your diet, okay? If you're not a fan of greens like spinach, kale, Swiss chard, Brussels sprouts, or broccoli, I'm going to show you guys a little trick that'll make them taste a lot better, okay? This little trick or tip is called bacon, okay? Bacon makes everything taste better because it tastes like bacon. So we will either be dicing up some bacon into a couple of these recipes, or we'll be just using bacon fat that we saved from the last time we had bacon for breakfast. So really great way that we can get this stuff working in our favor. We're going to go ahead and just turn on our stove for a little bit here, let that get warm behind me. Just got a regular old pan and spatula there. We're going to take our bacon fat or lard and we're going to just get a big scoop out of there, okay? Something about like that, maybe a tablespoon worth. We're going to go ahead and just flop that right in the bottom of our pan so that it starts melting its way in. Just leave that back there, set it over. We're eating onion out, just add in a little bit more vegetable content, and we're just going to slice this thing up kind of julienne, nothing fancy there, about like that. And we'll just pop that right in the pan, let it get simmering a little bit here. We're going to use some power greens from Costco. You can get mixed greens just about anywhere, but we really like these because you get a whole lot of organic greens, pre-rinsed. You just pull the bag open. We go through one of these a week or more sometimes, and we're going to use about half a bag here for this recipe that we have. We use a nice deep-sided pan. We'll be able to fit a lot in there, and so we're just going to dump these in as everything warms up here. We're going to try to get the bottom of our pan nicely coated with that bacon grease and get our onions spread out a little bit in there on the bottom. We'll go ahead and dump our greens right in on top of everything. Just scoop them out, get a big pile. Right into your pan. Toss that to the side. All these recipes make great meal preps that you can add in a lean piece of chicken, beef, fish, something like that. Maybe a side like rice or baked potato. And then with your greens, you got a nice balanced meal that you can prep out for the week. We're going to go ahead and put a cover on that and just let that keep heating. So we're going to let that simmer and saute, usually roughly about 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of time here. We'll speed it up with some movie magic maybe. Then we're going to add in, as an option, you can add in salt, pepper, apple cider vinegar, just to flavor, to see what you like on there. Don't be afraid to get a little creative with it, but a little bit goes a long way. The key here is to have most of this be greens. Okay guys, so it's been about 2 minutes. And so you can see here, if I pull the cover off that, we've already wilted our greens quite nicely. We don't want to get them super soupy and mushy or anything like that, but we do want to let them wilt down quite a bit. This helps reduce the volume of the total amount of greens that we have to eat. It's really easy to get 2 to 3 cups of raw leafy greens into 1 cup cooked. So we're going to take just a little bit of salt on there, and just a little bit of pepper. You can go a lot if you want. And then again, some people like this, some people don't, but it brightens up the flavor a little bit if we add just a little bit of apple cider vinegar into there. Just a splash, probably about a teaspoon total. Okay? Put that back off to the side. We're going to give that one more stir just to incorporate everything. Again. 1 more minute to finish wilting the rest of the way. All our flavors should be incorporating pretty nicely. We're going to go ahead and pop that cover back off. Everything's going to come out of there pretty nice and easily. We're just going to get that down into our serving dish. So we've got a great little side here that we can throw in with any meal, or we can portion this out in 1 cup servings to go in with our pre-prepped meals, something like our chicken breast, fish, or beef, whatever we're using for the week. Okay, we've got another recipe up for you next. All right, side dish number 2 for more vegetables in your diet is Brussels sprouts. Okay, again, you can get these nice frozen vegetables. We got these at Costco, I think. We're getting organic Brussels sprouts in kind of pre-sized servings. These work great for a quick, easy side. We're going to start this off the same way as we did dish number 1 with a little bit of bacon grease again. Let that portion down a little bit and throw at the bottom of our pan. We're going to go ahead and think about what else we want to put in this one. We're going to keep it pretty simple and similar to our previous recipe. We're going to go with onions right on this one. These are just all sliced up, all ready to go. I'm going to let that cover and just reduce a little bit for a couple seconds before we cut these open. Brussels sprouts get a bad rap a lot of the times because, frankly, people have just never had them made right. Usually, if you don't like Brussels sprouts, it's because you've had this mushy, boiled thing that came in a can or was just really overcooked somewhere. So you're just going to want to cook these to the point where they're about fork tender. You definitely don't want them to turn into complete mush. They should have a little bit of crunch or crispiness to them, ideally. So we're just going to pop these into the pan now, right as our onions are starting to clarify. Cover goes back on, and we're going to let that reduce for, we'll let it simmer for about 5 minutes or more. Alright guys, if we want to take the bacon level up another notch on this one, instead of using the bacon grease alone, we can just go ahead and go to a couple slices of bacon that I held up from the last time we made bacon for breakfast. We're just going to slice them up into some coarse chopped pieces like this. Then add those right in on top of everything that we've had simmering for just a couple minutes there. Next, we don't want to let the bacon go too far right away, otherwise it has a tendency to burn while everything else is getting cooked through. We're going to mix it back in. And just to add a little bit more flavor to this combination, we're going to go ahead and take some wild mushroom infused salt. Put that over the top. Give it 1 more quick stir. We're back on with the cover for about another 2 minutes. Alright guys, we've got about 8 minutes total cook time here. We're going to go ahead and see if our Brussels sprouts are ready. And right here, we're going to go straight into a serving dish with lots of bacon and onions on top. Wish you guys could smell that right now. It's pretty great. We're going to go ahead and get on to meal number 3. Maybe not everybody likes bacon. You're kind of crazy if you don't, but we'll make an option without bacon. We're back with side dish number 3. Our option for this one is for those of you that don't like bacon, whoever you might be, that one person out there somewhere. We're going to do green beans. We've got our giant bag of organic frozen green beans from Costco. Remember, if anybody wants to ever sponsor our videos, we definitely are up for sponsored content. Costco, we'd love for you to sponsor us. But we're going to go ahead and start out with a little bit of oil in the pan. We're going to use some toasted sesame oil. Just a splash of 1 to 2 tablespoons in there. Then we're going to go ahead and take some liquid aminos. We're using liquid aminos in place of soy sauce, so you can easily use soy sauce too, but we'll just put in, again, about 2 tablespoons or so of that. Now that can splatter a little bit when your pan's getting hot, so just be careful as you're adding that. And we're just going to bring that around to a little bit of a mix. Get our heat going about medium here. 1 teaspoon of mirin. Okay. Then we've got our lineup of sides here, we've got some fermented garlic. You could use fresh if you wanted, or garlic powder, I guess. But it's going to add a lot of flavor to it, add a lot of probiotics for gut health. We also have our julienne onion again. Again, just great to kick up some of that volume. So we're going to add both of these in and let them start cooking and clarifying there on the heat. As we talk about our next couple steps here, we're just going to let those go. Now these are all optional. The rest of this stuff is just garnish. We've got some Yakima smoked salt. We've got chili pepper seeds. We can also add in some slivered almonds or sesame seeds. So really be a little creative with that if you want. If you don't have any of those ingredients laying around, you really can do this with just a little bit of oil, a little bit of soy sauce, and sometimes sugar to taste makes it kind of nice in place of the mirror. So as we're getting this going here, we're going to let that saute down just a little bit till the onions are clarified before we add in the green beans. That'll probably be about 1 minute. Alright guys, so we're about a minute later. We're ready to add in our green beans. We're just going to go ahead and pull our cover. And you just want everything to kind of start clarifying down like that a little bit. We're going to add in, we're shooting for about 4 cups here. Since I only got 1 arm, this is going to be a real rough measurement. And again, once we get them shook around just a little bit, cover goes back on. We're going to let that simmer and saute for about 4 to 5 minutes. We'll see where we're at that point. Okay, we're a couple more minutes into the simmering, and we're going to put in our chili flakes right now and our smoked salt. So again, I go pretty light on these because we do want the kids to still eat them, but you can go as heavy as you want. That was probably a 1/4 teaspoon or less. We're going to also add in Yakima smoked sea salt. And again, you don't need a whole lot. We're going to get some salt flavor from that liquid aminos, but this is going to help give it a little bit more of a smoky flavor that we just kind of like. Alright guys, we're about 1 minute left. We're going to grab almost a 1/2 cup of slivered almonds here. Just toss those in so they get a little bit toasted with this. Just shake that around a little bit. And then go check on the baby. Alright guys, we should be just about ready to pull those green beans. Baby's all right. Okay. Just clear those from our pan into our serving bowl. And if you get like 90% of them in the serving dish, you're doing great. Okay. Just shuffle that around a little bit. Set it right up there for you guys to see. Again, you can garnish on top with a little bit of sesame seeds to taste. And there we go. We got 3 options for you to get more greens and vegetables into your diet. We've got mixed greens with bacon and onion. We've got Brussels sprouts with more bacon and onion. And then we've got kind of an Asian green bean dish. We'll have recipes in the link below down in the description. Remember to leave us a like and a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you want more ideas like this to help keeping your family fed and healthy. Remember, we're always here at Venture Chiropractic to help you move better, feel better, be a better you.